I'm happy to say that the K-pop side of my life has come to an end.
Cool. Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're coming off a real high. Head in the Clouds wrapped up. You had your solo stage, jumped on with DPR Live with Jam and Butterfly, which is one of my favorite tracks, by the way.
Ooh, I love that song.
It is a really, really good song. And it
Like
just looked like an incredibly joyous time for you. So I kind of wanted to just start with something relatively simple, which is what's making you happy these days?
Me, Head in the Clouds made me really, really happy.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited and happy for my future right now as well. Just because I've had a taste of it at Head in the Clouds, and like I can be free and I can kind of just be me, like the authentic me and not the synthetic Day6J. And that has me on a whole different kind of high, for sure.
I can imagine.
I'm feeling great.
Yeah. I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but I also just kind of wanted to point out, because it deserves to be pointed out. Like I said, you were on stage after 2 years, and that too with your unofficial releases, which is pretty legit, right? That must have really meant something to you as like a musician and as a human being. But how does like rewiring yourself to go on stage solo kind of pan out for you?
I didn't rewire. That's the crazy thing. Usually I have to wire to do Day6 stages because I have to worry about, playing in sync with the band, working in sync with the band. And, as a band, you work as a single entity, like a single unit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a spider with all its legs. You can't, if a spider doesn't have a leg, it's not functioning properly.
True.
It wouldn't be as efficient as it would be with all its legs. So with Day6, it was always a battle of not how I do as an individual, but how the band is perceived by the audience that watches.
Yeah.
But this time I kind of just went head empty. I don't know why, but my head was just blank during the whole thing. I kind of just like blacked out almost.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, I kind of just like blinked out and just let it go.
It's kind of like a blank state. It's a good thing.
Yeah. I feel like I reached like a really like a Zen state, you know what I mean? Like a very like just peaceful, happy, having fun. I don't even know why I said the things that I said on stage. I remember only half of them, but like it was just a good time. I just had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it was completely spontaneous. But at the same time, all your work has been clearly such a labor of love for you, because everything is on you, right? I mean, including the music videos that you've made. So talk me through a little bit about the process and how long the idea of putting your own work as eaJ has been simmering. Simmering.
It happened as the music dropped.
Okay.
So I like in the beginning of the project, I didn't know how often I was going to drop a song. I didn't know how many songs I was going to drop. I didn't know when it was going to end. I didn't even know if this was the start of anything. Like it was just for fun.
Yeah.
Like after had the company tell me like, this comeback you're going to write pop rock. This comeback you're going to write modern rock.
Yeah.
This comeback you're going to write pop, and then we take that, we're like, okay. And then like they click a button and then a soda can pops out, but it's a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After having done that for so many years, I realized that I didn't know what I liked. Or like, even if I liked music anymore, to be completely honest. And I kind of just went on a journey with my friends and I was like, yo, can we like just make some stuff just to make it?
Yeah.
Like, no intention behind any of it. And we made it. And then we were just all kind of like, damn, this is different. It's kind of fire, but like it's not like mainstream industry, like you're gonna blow up fire. Like this is fire to us because this remains true to us, what we like.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's just release it. And then we did, and then we somehow ended up here.
I feel like this is a really good time to say congratulations for the 10 million Pac-Man, which absolutely deserves every single view. And I swear to God, a couple of thousand from me. They're from me. What's kind of interesting here also, Jay, and this is, I mean, from the outside. And But they're just, there seems to be like a certain duality that's perceivably inherent in you. So two different worlds, your identity is an idol, your truth is Jay. your musicality as a day 6 member and how you express yourself solo, performer versus introvert slash ambivert. I'm going to call you an ambivert, not an introvert.
I don't know what an ambivert is.
So
what is that?
It's a word that changed my life because it's basically an introvert who has extroverted tendencies.
Oh.
Which is kind of perfect, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to go with ambivert for you. But essentially, my question to you is, how does this kind of duality manifest itself in your life?
So I had a really hard time struggling between the duality, and I've gotten into a lot of trouble because of that. Because with the duality of being a K-pop idol and just being a regular guy, an American citizen guy, there comes a cultural difference line, and those lines are very skewed and not very vivid. So it's very easy to step over lines and cause trouble within different communities. I've had a lot of trouble with that. And I'm happy to say that the K-pop side of my life has come to an end.
Okay.
Because by the time that, everyone in Day 6 is done, and we come back and we reformulate, and then we strike again, like the next Day 6 World Tour, that's going to be in a while. And by that time, I feel like we'll be at the age group in which we're not really considered idols anymore. And right now, I'm slowly converting myself over to a more American-driven American culture. I'm trying to do some more of the American pop stuff.
Yeah, but I guess the duality is also kind of led to some really interesting music out of you as well.
I think I'm
gonna put that out there. Because you make such interesting lo-fi, atmospheric, beautiful music. So that has to come from somewhere too, right? So I guess it also has its purpose. So I've always been curious to know, when you picked up a guitar and when you decided that this was the instrument for you, because I know that your father had an acoustic guitar lying around, and I'm assuming that he played too, but what's the story?
Of how I began?
Mm-hmm.
It's a really dumb story. I'm a very impulsive person, and I get pissed a lot, and my life just revolves around getting mad. And starting things because I get frustrated. Let me see. One day, there was an acoustic guitar rolling around the ground, and my friends came over. My friend picked it up, started playing a song, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I thought only musicians can play songs on the guitar and stuff. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's nuts. If he can do it, I can do it. So I started playing guitar. After that, one of my friends, or some of my friends were over, and then we were just singing songs for fun. I think it was like a Hillsong song, and my friend was playing guitar in the back again. And I was still thinking in my head, if he can do it, I can do it. And he started singing, and I was like, whoa, they're singing. So let's, I was just humming along, because I'm used to singing on the car drives to and from LA from my mom's work, where she would pick me up from school and then take me to her work to just chill and take me back home when she's done and stuff like that. And I was singing it, and then my friends stopped me, and they were like, yo, you're kind of good. And I was like, word? And I was like, and they were like, yeah, word. And I was like, word. You know what I mean? It was very organic and natural. And then and that's when I started just kind of singing for fun. And then I did the whole YouTube thing because my friends told me to do it. And then that was fun. And I got picked up by a program called K-Pop Star. They told me to come out.
Yeah.
And I did. And then I closed my eyes and opened them, and then I was in JY.
That you actually just answered my next question, because I was going to cut to a couple of years later or whatever, and just ask you about what kind of led to that, to you kind of taking a break from university, I'm assuming, a college, for K-Pop Star, and then boom, like you said, joining JYP. But I guess it just happened.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a vacation.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be really fun, especially because the drinking age in Korea is lower. So I was legally allowed to drink in Korea. So I was like, it's time to get my drink on. You know what I mean? It's going to be a time to go take a vacation, have fun legally. You know what I mean? Very good child, but have fun. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was going to be I'll get to round 1 or round 2, and then I'll get kicked off. And then, I'll stay here, but it's a nice leave excuse for my parents. I'm like, oh, Mom, like I want to do music, but no, I just want to like have fun. And then, but it just ended up becoming a life of not much fun and a lot of practice, and I'm grateful for it. But I do kind of wish I spent more time in college for sure.
Bear with me for the next question because it's a bit long, but there's a point to it, I promise. So the last 2 years have obviously been a really intense time for the world for obvious reasons, right? Right?
Yeah.
So around like April and May last year is when COVID really started to spike around the world. You know, at that time in your life, you were also on the road to releasing Book of Us, A Demon.
Yeah.
Also the time that you had a pretty nasty panic attack. You know, I think you were on your way back from shooting the video for Truman. Day 6 then officially kind of went on hiatus for a bit. But in the period after, you created some really, really beautiful music, you know. Big Hero 6 happened, I think, during that time. That's when you collaborated.
No, please, no.
I'm sorry.
No, cringe. No,
it happened though. It happened. You collaborated with DPR, made some beautiful music there.
Cool. That was cool.
From Friends happened, which is also super cool. But also more importantly, you kind of opened up and kept up crucial conversations about mental health and on life.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say in a very circuitous manner is, talk to me a little bit about this time and how speaking out or speaking your truth has changed you.
One, speaking about it has put a target on my back for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I think I've pulled them into the reality of we're human beings and not these people that you can just always find comfort and perfection in.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if that's what we were, but it was the inevitable truth. I felt like it was necessary to talk about the realistic person behind an idol and a certain image, almost a facade, I would say, that companies put up as a product, right? I said this in a lot of interviews before, but I think for me, it just almost felt immoral. It literally felt immoral and just wrong to give, especially the younger generation, this strange idea that their role models, aka were called idols in Korea, right?
Yeah.
Their idols were perfect. Yeah. And that in turn allowed them to go home, look at these images and these videos of them being perfect, just being totally ridiculously angelic human beings.
Yeah.
In every sense. And saying, I don't look like this, I don't sound like this, I don't feel like this, therefore something's wrong with me. Because this is the standard.
Yeah.
This is my role model, so I want to be like the role model. I thought that was so
yeah.
Like,
no cracks are allowed to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I get that, because that's business, but then it's very misleading for the younger generation that can't differentiate between a product and the human behind the product.
Yeah.
Right? So there's Mickey Mouse in his Mickey Mouse costume at Disney. He never breaks character. I don't know if you know that, but if you go to Disney, no matter what you do, he will not break character. Even in the staff room, he does not break character. And I feel like that's kind of what an idol is.
Yeah.
Like on set, we don't break character. But behind the mask, when we go home, we're normal people. The problem lies in which things get unveiled in our normal lives that normal people do, like I'll be talking to friends or I'll go have a drink. And then people are like, oh my God, he's drinking. But I thought he was like an angel. I'm pretty sure Mickey Mouse drinks.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty damn sure. Like at the end of the day, he'll crack a can of beer or whatever, and then he'll go home, put his feet up, and be like, that was a good day of being Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's a product. I don't want the younger generation to grow up being anxious, having problems, thinking that, yo, I'm not this perfect specimen, therefore I am imperfect.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Being imperfect is normal. And I just really wanted to make that clear and make that known so that people don't have to like, because I saw people being traumatized over this. Like, Jay, how could you do this? You're perfect. I was like, no, I'm not. Wow, you thought that? Let me fix that real quick. Let me show you. We have mental problems too. A lot of us really do. Panic attacks, anxiety, depression, that's very, very common in the idol world.
I know. And
And I want people to know that.
Because there's so much content and because there's so much access, right?
Yeah.
People, especially fans, feel like they know everything, including the inner workings of the industry, right?
Yeah.
But what life is like on the inside is clearly very, very different. I'm glad that you did kind of speak up. It's crucial.
Yeah, I am too. Like I got a target on my back for it, but I feel like, you know, if people can, if this makes people realize like, oh shoot, it's not what we thought it was. They're just normal like us. You know, it's work, it's a job. Then I feel like eventually they'll be like, oh, okay, so they're not perfect. I don't have to be perfect, you know?
Yeah.
And they'll be able to accept themselves more openly.
True.
I hate the idea. Like, I know I've repeated this over and over, but I legitimately hate the idea of like a very young, maybe like a 10, 11, 12-year-old looking at a picture and seeing a video of us and thinking, damn, they're so perfect. Something's wrong with me. I'm fucked up in the head. But that's not true. Everyone goes through these concerns. Everyone goes through these trials by tribulation mostly. And that's how you grow. And you're not supposed to be perfect. But the industry has it very embedded in a lot of people's heads that you have to be perfect to be a normal human being. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent. I'm very passionate about this. Yeah,
no, sorry. I'm glad that you did. This is absolutely not a tangent. I mean, this is a very, very important part of the conversation.
Yeah.
However, I will say that your fans have really kind of stuck by you through thick and thin, which is incredible. And you really do have such a solid fandom, right? Like, you know, so how would you Yeah. So how would you kind of define this ongoing relationship with this very diverse, it's very, very important to point out, super engaged kind of like set of people, and how has that relationship kind of evolved over the years for you?
They're so annoying. They're so annoying. They'll just bug me. They'll make fun of me. They'll do everything in their power to go out of their way to make posters and bring them to my concert and wait 5 hours in line so I could see posters that are just me on me, like at Head in the Clouds.
Yeah.
I respect it though, because I know what it takes to wait 10 hours in a day and stand up for 10 hours straight to show someone the poster. And that's why I'll point them out and make sure people see it. Yeah. But I appreciate my fans. I think it's an interesting dynamic. And it's one that's a little bit harder to see in K-pop. Just because, you know, like I said, there's a whole perfection thing and people are just supposed to be like, oh, that's whoever, and I idolize them and they're perfect and they're just so great. And my fans are more like, he's stupid, he's an idiot, but we love him for it. Yeah. And I love them for being who they are. So it's a very interesting dynamic. And I think it's more engaging because of the fact that we just accept each other for who we are. Yeah. And we know we'll make mistakes. Yeah. So it's just how it is, but it's very cool.
Also it kind of proves that, you know, a little bit about what you were talking about, that it's important for people to know the truth. Yeah. You know, so if you kind of have that kind of relationship, then I guess it kind of seeps through, and that's actually a really good thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's good to be transparent to a certain point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're just trying to be like this block, like this cement block that you can't, like, no one can tell whether you're happy or sad. It's hard to really feel genuine sometimes. Yeah. And I want to always be genuine, honest, and truthful.
Yeah, authentic.
Yeah, and that's what I get to be now. So that's why I'm happy.
Yeah. Good, I'm glad.
Like, I would have never been able to say this and get away with this kind of stuff like a year ago, but I can now.
That was a pretty open laugh. What would you say?
Free! I feel so free. I don't know, it just feels different.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges and your biggest triumphs over the last few years being part of the group?
My biggest challenge, I think, was getting through the hurdle of showing and really pushing, making it very public that I was going through things and that that should be acceptable.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't like it because like I said, a lot of people find comfort in their idols and they come home from work and they watch these videos in order to feel better and to get energized. they didn't want to think about normal human beings when they saw me. They wanted to think about perfection and how everything was okay in their lives, and like they were just trying to find a getaway. And I wanted to let them know that it's okay to have a rough patch, because everyone's going all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Let's just find comfort in the music and just being comfortable with the fact and living with it. You know what I mean? We don't have to face our like mental traumas, because that's when you're ready. But let's at least live in the zen space where we accept things for how they are. A lot of people came after me saying you're blah blah blah, disgrace to Korea, you're disdaining the name of your group by saying X and Y. And I was like, I get it. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm kind of straying away from the K-pop life now.
Yeah.
Is that I'm just tired of being disingenuous. I'm not a liar. And I hate having to lie. But it's work. So sometimes you do, but I don't have to anymore.
True. I guess that was the next question, right? Your biggest triumphs. Bring the smiles as well.
Was definitely one of my biggest triumphs, that I can be exactly who I am when I am.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
I was watching a couple of interviews of yours before and reading, a couple of interviews that you were actually given.
Yeah.
And you said that 2022 is going to be your year.
2022, I have a lot in store for it. I'm going to be definitely releasing a lot of music, I think. I'm going to be doing a lot of just content in general. And I have a lot of creative ideas that I haven't been able to venture into over the past couple of years. Even things that I've been demoralized doing while in the K-pop industry, and I want to venture into those things and see how those things end up.
My last question to you, and I really like asking people this question, which is, has there been a time in your life where an important bit of advice was given to you that you are happy that you now did not listen to?
Oh yeah, my parents said don't spend your life savings on each project.
Okay.
And they were wrong.
So, hear that, Mom and Dad?
I'm very happy to acknowledge all that. I usually listen to them because all my friends are like, I'll have like these crazy ideas, and like, like YouTube was a personal idea. They told me not to do that as well. Kind of did it. I did each project. They told me not to do that, waste money. They're like, just do your day 6 thing. Kind of did it. They told me not to do the American stuff. Did it. 6:30 p.m. main stage, Heaven Clouds. I can't let things go unless I do them.
Yeah.
And then I fail. And if I fail, then at that point I'll be like, oh, okay, I messed up. But yeah, I'm not good at following advice.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Like you said, main stage, Head in the Clouds, lots coming up, I'm sure.
I was stubborn, yeah. I'm very stubborn.
Yeah. Well, stubborn is a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I don't know. It screwed me over. Yeah. Those are some of the situations in which I was happy I didn't listen. There were a lot more situations in which I wish I listened.
Yeah.
But, of course.
But here you are anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm happy.
Yeah. Jay, this has been so much fun talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me. This actually was such a fun chat, and I've really been looking forward to it.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I'm sorry if I cursed here and there. I've been trying to turn my filter back on, and it's been hard because I've had it off for 2 years.
Leave it off. Leave the filter off. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you.
Bye.